Alright guys, today we are going to be rebuilding a carburetor on a Kawasaki tg33 trimmer, gas trimmer. You can't buy these carburetors new. I've looked everywhere. So I got a carburetor kit for it. I'll try to find this on Amazon. Put the link in the description below. I don't remember if I got this off eBay or Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. I'll find it again. That's only thing I could find was a kit. There's no carburetor, there's no gaskets, there's no grommet. You know, it's single fuel line. I did the fuel line before, so that's kind of self-explanatory. Single fuel line goes to a filter, goes up into this. You know, if this helps you out in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, show me a little support. Alright, first we're going to take off these two Phillips heads. Get this air filter cover off. Looks like the whole thing comes right off. It's just a piece of foam inside. Alright. Now we're going to get this thing here counterclockwise. We're going to take it off. These can be on very tight and need to be, you know, a pair of pliers used to just break it free. Just don't squeeze too hard, you'll crack this and then it's screwed. You don't want to break this carburetor. Just go ahead and unscrew it all the way. And we're just going to pull it straight out. I'm going to remove this spark plug boot because it's kind of in the way. This will pull straight out. You'll notice that the slotted ends to the left. On the right hand side you'll have a idle adjustment. When you pull this all the way out, you'll see that there's a slot on the bottom. That's the idle adjustment slot. Alright, now two Phillips heads. We're going to get this carburetor off. Actually, first go ahead and remove the fuel line. It's brand new when you need pliers. Fuel line off. I cracked the gas cap. It keeps the fuel from spewing out. You're going to want to drain all the old gas out, clean out the tank, make sure it's perfectly new. I've already done that when I did the fuel lines, but you got to get rid of all the old gas. Get the gas, you know, buy it today. Gas for these weed eaters nowadays goes bad in a couple of weeks. So take these two screws out. And get this off. There is a gasket between the two. If it stays on the carb, just leave it right on the carburetor. If it stays on there, leave it on there, but do not forget to make sure that it's put back. Get these bolts out of here and out of the way. Right, so first one we're going to start with is this one right here. There's a Phillips head on this arm. We're going to take that Phillips head off and remove this arm. Be careful when you slide off. There's a spring on there and everything. This valve will slide right out. It just slides right out like that. Alright. Now there is an extra nipple here. The grommet that comes in the gas tank is a single hole grommet. If you go with a double hole grommet, you can hook this line up as a return, go right back in. But that's not originally how it was, so it's not really a big deal. When you push this down, gas comes out of there, and you know it's primed at that point. Alright, so we got 4 Phillips heads. We're going to take those out. Got those out. And pull this plate off. A little stiff, not horrible. This is going to come off, but we're going to go right to the other side here first. 2 Phillips heads, take them out. Then you got 4 more Phillips heads, take them out. And we're going to go ahead and pop this off. Alright, I don't see anything major wrong. And then we're going to work on getting this gasket off. I need 2 hands. Fuel pump diaphragm is on the outside, and then there's a little spring here and here, so be careful, don't lose those 2 springs. Get them out. And work on getting the diaphragm out. Down to that. Now we're going to get this Phillips out, but there is a little spring under here too, so be very careful getting it out. Do it over a table so you don't lose that spring. Get it all out. I like using the old fork. You can use a new needle valve, but I like using the old fork because it's already preset to the level it's supposed to be. They used to have tools back in the day that you put on there to make sure that the level was right and everything. So I like just using the old one, that it's already set where it needs to be. Usually I use the old needle valve and everything, you know. Alright, let's get this gasket off of here. The razor blade and just get all the old gasket off. I can't do it with one hand, but you want to get all the old gasket off and out of there. Alright, just get it all out. Now we got all the gasket off of it. We're going to give it a good cleaning. First, rinse all the dirt off. I use penetrating oil, seafoam. The reason I use this is more of the new carburetors than the old ones. The new carburetors have some duckbill valves and stuff built in them. You can use carb cleaner or brake cleaner on this one. It's old school deal, but I'm going to use this anyways. Close it all down really good. For a pre-soak, I use air just to blow it all off. We're just getting the dust off the outside of it first. Just like that. Get all the dirt out of there. Just getting the dirt out of there. We don't want any dirt getting in our carb. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put the straw inside the can. And then we're going to take and spray. See, I just cut a little chunk off. We don't need that big oddball thing. We're going to spray through all of these holes and make sure everything's clear. The same with all these holes. Spray through everything, make sure everything's clear. Alright. The main part. Where's the main jet on this damn thing? That's weird. You'd think that would be quite visible. I guess it's these two guys right here. They're going to be the main jets. Spray through everything, make sure it comes out somewhere else. Give it a good hosing, and then we're going to use the air hose again to blow through everything, make sure everything goes from one side to another. So those two little holes are the jets. I knew that when I blew down through the orifice tube here, down in there. Hold on, let me turn on this flashlight. That orifice tube down in there, to blow through that, it comes out of them, and that's where the main jet would be located anyways. So I'd have to say under this brass cap is the actual jet, but we're not going to mess with that. I am going to do a touch of acid in that orifice tube to boil the jet out. This is the acid I use. It's 14 karat gold testing solution. I tried all the other testing solutions, none of them work. I've tried making my own acid. This is the best stuff. I'll put this in the description below. So we're just going to put 1 or 2 drops right inside that orifice tube and let it boil out. Let me turn that light on again. Goes right out. And then we're going to rinse it very gently with the oil. This will burn your eyes. Wear safety goggles. Wear safety gloves. Vinyl is the best for chemicals. But we're going to go ahead and rinse that. Look in there now and it looks brand new. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start reassembling. New needle valve. Get it down in there. Down in there. Then we're going to use our old fork, spring, and screw. And we're going to put all that in. This little bubble side of the fork goes down into the spring, like so. And this is going to be pretty much a level with this. This is how it goes. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and get the main gasket on, and then the diaphragm on top of the main gasket. Like that. And then get the plate on. That is going to be the shorter of the screws, the 4 sets of 4 screws. Put this needle in, Goes right in this slot right here. I rinse it off with oil first, and then make sure it moves in and out freely. It doesn't bind or anything. That's good. Then we're going to go ahead and get our fork. And you get this pin started in here, and then this into the needle. Started properly in the needle. And then you're going to tighten this bolt down, but you're going to move this back and forth as you're tightening it down so that the bolt slides into place like it's supposed to. There's a collar on that bolt that needs to fit into this. So if it doesn't fit into it, it'll bind up and this won't move anymore. So you move it back and forth as you slowly tighten. And you kind of feel it work its way into position. Alright, so I had to actually push this forward, you know, towards this, and it fell into place, and then tighten it down. Now it's working fine. Alright, now we're going to get to this side here. This side actually has a couple of nipples, so everything should line up nicely. Gasket first. Diaphragm next. I forgot to clean this. Spray all these holes out. Clean this off really well. Make sure everything's all clean. Alright, and then we're going to lay this on there. It'll hold all of them gaskets in place. Then the next set of 4, put them in there. Tighten them down. Off the primer ball real good. Put it on. Backing up. Take this all back out. I forgot those 2 springs. They're in there. Then put the gasket on. Put the fuel pump diaphragm on. Like that. And then we're going to put the top on. That. And then those 4 bolts. When you're putting your primer ball on, you notice one side's longer than the other. Short end goes away from this nipple. It all lines up. And then put your 2 bolts in. It's the last 2 fat bolts. Put them in. Tighten it down. It's all together. We're going to reassemble now. Fuel line on. Make sure you got the gasket. It does come with a new gasket. Make sure you got the gasket. And we're going to line it up. And we're going to bolt it into place. Alright, everything's bolted down in. We've got this guy. So one side has the fat short slot, and the other side's got the thin long slot. Fat short slot goes towards your idle screw. And you'll feel it actually line up, and it'll drop right in. Once it lines up, it'll drop right in. Now you may have to work with it a little bit and try to get that needle, because if it doesn't go down all the way, like it's not doing it now, it'll run full throttle. It won't be right. So we gotta, there it is. Look, it's dropping all the way in now. See, it's going all the way in now. So you gotta wiggle it around, make sure it drops in properly, and then you're gonna go ahead and tighten this down. Alright, and then before you go any further, you want to check throttle. Make sure it's going up and down perfectly. See, it's going all the way down. That's what we want. Line it up. Get it good and primed. Make sure it fits. Alright, spark plug wire back on. This is not focusing fully. Alright, then you're going to go ahead and put the air filter back on there with the 2 Phillips head screws. I would show you this thing run, but for some reason now it's got no spark. I even tried unplugging the coil. That didn't do it. I don't get it. So, you know, that's the ground. I can't find an unplug for that. So I'm going to have to tear it apart more again and try the coil work. But that's how you do the carburetor on this. Doesn't always work. That's why I like just putting new carburetors on. Most of my videos will see me just throw new carburetors on. It's just way easier that way. But you can't get a new carburetor for this guy. So this helped you out in any way, shape, or form. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I'll put the carb kit in the description below. Apparently we'll be doing a coil video on this too. Hopefully we can find a coil for this thing. yeah, if you want to do any advertising on my channel, message me. Be more than happy to have you. Peace.